Have you ever thought about what would happen if the power grid collapses? Do you have a plan? In the world we live in, we're surrounded by unseen threats. One of these is the potential collapse of the power grid, an event that could send us spiraling back to a time before electricity. Imagine an instant blackout, plunging entire cities into darkness, leaving millions without the basic amenities we take for granted. No electricity means no communication, no light, no heating or cooling, and no access to the information superhighway we've become so reliant upon. What could cause such a catastrophic event? There are numerous potential triggers, each as ominous as the last. Cyber attacks are a real and present danger, with sophisticated hackers always looking for a chink in the armor of our digital defenses. Natural disasters like storms, fires, or earthquakes can damage or destroy large sections of the grid. Geopolitical tensions could escalate into physical attacks on infrastructure, taking out power stations and transmission lines. And let's not forget the possibility of a major solar flare, a massive burst of radiation from the sun that could overload and fry our electrical systems. The effects of a power grid collapse would be far-reaching and devastating. Besides the immediate loss of light and power, there would be a ripple effect throughout our society. Hospitals would struggle to keep life-saving equipment running, gas stations would be unable to pump fuel, water treatment plants would cease to function, leaving us without clean drinking water, our financial systems would grind to a halt without electronic transactions. In short, our modern way of life would be turned upside down. So the question remains, are you ready to face the dark times ahead? Are you prepared to navigate a world without electricity, where each day is a struggle for survival? In the coming scenes, we'll delve deeper into the reality of a power grid collapse and explore what you can do to ensure your home is prepared for the worst. Because when the lights go out, the only thing standing between you and the darkness is your level of preparedness. The triggers of a power grid collapse are as numerous as they are ominous. Let's delve deeper into these potential triggers, shall we? First up, we have natural disasters. These could be anything from hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, to extreme heat waves or freezing temperatures. These forces of nature can wreak havoc on our power infrastructure, causing widespread outages that can last for days, weeks, or even months. Next up, cyber attacks. In our digital age, power grids have become attractive targets for hackers and cyber terrorists. A successful attack could plunge entire cities into darkness, bringing our modern way of life to a grinding halt. Then we have geopolitical tensions. The world is a chessboard and countries are the chess pieces. In this high-stakes game, power grids can become pawns, vulnerable to sabotage or attack as part of larger strategic maneuvers. And let's not forget about the bigger picture. Some believe that there's a world elite planning to control resources, including our power supply. While this may seem far-fetched to some, it's a theory that can't be ruled out in our unpredictable world. Further, we have solar flares. Yes, you heard it right, our own sun can trigger a power grid collapse. A powerful enough solar flare could cause a geomagnetic storm, potentially frying our power grid and leaving us in the dark. And finally, our aging infrastructure. Many parts of our power grid are decades old and not designed to handle the increasing demand for electricity. This makes them more susceptible to failure, especially during peak usage times. In conclusion, the potential triggers of a power grid collapse are as varied as they are unpredictable. They serve as a stark reminder of our reliance on electricity and the fragility of the systems that provide it. So, whether it's Mother Nature flexing her muscles, a shadowy hacker in a distant land, escalating international tensions, the so-called world elite, a solar flare, or just plain old wear and tear, the threat to our power grid is real and ever-present. As you can see, the threat is real and it's closer than you might think. Your home is your fortress, but is it prepared for a power grid collapse? This question should be at the forefront of your mind as we delve deeper into the realm of home preparedness for power outages. First and foremost, assessing your home's preparedness for a power outage is crucial. This assessment includes identifying potential vulnerabilities and devising strategies to mitigate them. A well-prepared home can be the difference between survival and chaos in the face of a power grid collapse. Having backup power sources like generators or solar panels is a significant step towards preparedness. These sources of power could mean that your lights stay on when the rest of the city goes dark. But remember, having a backup power source is only half the battle. You must also know how to use and maintain these devices, as well as keep them secure from theft. Next, let's talk about food and water supplies. Stockpiling enough food and water to sustain your household during a power disruption is a must. Think about the number of people in your home, their dietary requirements, and how long you might need to rely on these supplies. Canned goods, dry mixes, and other staples that don't require refrigeration can be a lifesaver. And don't forget about your water supply. You'll need at least 1 gallon of water per person per day for drinking and sanitation. Alternative lighting sources are another key aspect of home preparedness. Candles, lanterns, or battery-powered lights can provide much-needed illumination when the power goes out. But be mindful of the fire risk associated with some of these options. Safety should always be a priority. Finally, keep in mind that your preparations should be ongoing. Regularly review and update your plans, and always be on the lookout for ways to improve your home's preparedness. Remember, preparation is the key to survival. By taking the time to ensure your home is ready for a power outage, you're not only safeguarding your family's well-being, but you're also taking a stand against the uncertainty of the future. Safety should always be a priority, especially during a power outage. When the lights go out and society is plunged into darkness, accidents and injuries can happen at an alarming rate. It's during these challenging times that preparedness truly pays off. So what does preparedness look like? It starts with making sure that your home is safe. This includes securing loose objects that can become hazardous in the dark, identifying safe zones within your home, and ensuring everyone knows how to safely navigate their surroundings without light. A well-placed glow-in-the-dark tape can guide you through the darkness without needing any power. In a power outage, fires become a more common danger. Cooking on open flames, using candles for light, or running generators in enclosed spaces can all lead to fires. Having a functioning fire extinguisher and smoke detectors that don't rely on electricity is vital. Next, let's talk about first aid. In the dark, even a simple task can result in injury. A comprehensive first aid kit, coupled with basic first aid knowledge, can be the difference between a minor and a major injury. Remember, in a power grid collapse, quick access to medical services may not be available. Now let's shift gears and talk about communication. In a world without power, traditional forms of communication like cell phones and the internet may be rendered useless. But communication remains crucial, especially during a crisis. A preset plan with your family and neighbors can be a lifesaver. Establishing a meeting point, setting check-in times, and creating a system of signals can provide reassurance and a sense of order in chaos. Walkie-talkies or CB radios can be an excellent tool for maintaining contact over short distances, while ham radios can reach much further. Remember, in a crisis, knowledge is power. Keep a battery or crank-powered radio on hand to receive news updates or emergency broadcasts. Safety and communication can make a significant difference in a crisis situation. So take the time today to ensure that your home is prepared for the unthinkable. After all, it's better to be safe than sorry. In the dark times of a power outage, security concerns rise and energy becomes a precious commodity. In these uncertain hours, your home transforms from a place of comfort to a sanctuary against the chaos outside. So how do you fortify your home against potential risks during power outages? It begins with securing all entry points. Reinforce doors and windows. Consider adding security bars or shutters. Next, a good home security system is invaluable. Opt for a battery-operated system that remains functional even when the power is down. Don't forget to secure your perimeter with fences or natural barriers. Even in the dark, the presence of a well-fortified home can deter potential intruders. Now let's talk about energy conservation. In a prolonged power outage, every bit of energy matters. Start by unplugging all non-essential appliances. This not only conserves energy, but also protects your devices from power surges when the electricity returns. Next, focus on heating and cooling. Insulate your home well to maintain a comfortable temperature without overusing your energy resources. Use thick curtains or blankets over windows and doors to trap heat during winter, and open windows at night during summer to let cooler air in. Lighting is another area where you can conserve energy. Use candles, lanterns, or battery-operated lights, but only when necessary. Make the most of the daylight hours, and remember, our ancestors managed without electricity for millennia, so, in the grand scheme of things, a few days or weeks in the dark is survivable. Finally, ration your food and water consumption. Plan meals to minimize cooking time and water usage. Remember, in a prolonged power outage, refrigeration will be limited, so prioritize perishable items first. In the face of a power grid collapse, your home's security and your ability to conserve energy can be your lifeline. By fortifying your home and being mindful of your resource usage, you can weather the storm of a power outage and emerge stronger on the other side.